Well, let's continue our adventure through the Palace of Ikaemos in hopes to find these 4 daggers. Sir, please. Rosalind doesn't have the booze today. Well, I'll say that. She probably does have a secret stash somewhere. Anyway, let's continue. We're looking for the 4 daggers for this statue here. Again, how Joseph knows that we need daggers specifically is anyone's guess. Who am I to judge Joseph's wisdom, though? Please. Yeah, I figured we'd be greeted this way as well. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this would be a dining hall for the occupants of the palace. They've got this very large table here. I'm assuming the nobles and the royalty would have sat up here. Either that or it could have been a buffet-styled dining hall. If they're doing buffet, that's probably where they would have put all the food there. Also, there's a stage area over here. Probably for a band or maybe some performers. Who knows? A bit of entertainment while you eat. Probably would have been pretty stylish, honestly. Yeah, Volition put some very good attention to detail when it came to the layout of the palace. Oh, good work on their part. There's a kitchen area here. There is an item to be found in there, so. Oh, the thieves twerk. We haven't seen that one yet. Not that one. Yeah, Fliss would love that. Should be very pleased for that one. Let's head into the kitchens, shall we? There'll be an item in here. Okay, back there, Fliss. Rosalind giving you some trouble. That's nothing new. Hey, we got him before you can even get up. Yeah, a bit of a tight squeeze in here. Also a floating tray and bottle. I'm assuming this would have been a place for them to wash their hands. We've got a hole here, probably for the water to come through. I mean, you definitely do want to wash yourself before you handle food. Even got the spits here. And what I'm assuming is a meat rack, maybe. It definitely looks like it. By the way, these people here, you notice there's a bit of text on their cuffs here. And that's at the base of the dress. If you're wondering what it says Alpha out. A bit of a mishap on Volition's part. The texture is not quite complete. That's an easy fix though when I come around to modding the game. Yeah. Volition, folks. Anyway, let's get the item here. The armory key. Whoa. Very spiffing looking key. If not pointy. Not our first pointy key. And the cauldron here. That actually has a ladle in the inside. Yeah, it's completely rusted though, so I wouldn't find it appetizing to eat from that at this point. But I'm sure it was very nice back in the days before it became, well, ruins. And don't think about it, Rosalind. I know you like making concoctions. Anyway, let us head into the baths area, shall we? Or maybe a sauna of some sort. I'm assuming it's the baths, but it could also double as a sauna. Jakar, please. Please. Anyway, if we look on the benches here, you actually notice there's gullies in the middle. I'm assuming for the water to drip off after your nice bath, or if it is a sauna as well. It does have the heat in here, so I don't know if it would have got hot enough for a sauna. There is an item in the water here. The barbarians twerk. Probably an item for a Jakar. Definitely. It's already at 10 though, so it doesn't really help. I guess it does account for a higher skill on the weapon skills. So it probably would give him more chance of hitting. Yeah, an outlet for the water, I'm assuming. This is definitely still water though, so it's definitely stagnant, I'm sure of that. It's probably freezing cold as well. Anyway, let us head down to the lower chambers, shall we? Fellows? It's a bit quiet down here. Oh, there is a area up here. I'll show it off. Yeah, if you're wondering what this area is for, well, from a lore perspective, with these booths here, I'm assuming this would be a locker room, probably for the saunas downstairs, the baths. But what it's used for gameplay wise, I've absolutely no idea. There's no items here. There's no enemies. So I don't know what Volition was planning for this area, but whatever it was, they didn't follow through with it. It's completely devoid of all enemies and all items, so Fleers can pick the locks of the booths here, but there is another way of unlocking them. I'll show that off later. But yeah, it's completely devoid of everything. From a gameplay perspective, it has no purpose. There's not even an Easter egg here. I have tried fitting people into the lockers there just to see if anything happens, but as far as I know, nothing actually happens. But we will come back to that. Yes, this would have been a boatyard. Unfortunately, the bridge is out here. I'm assuming that's an altar of some sort that would have collapsed, probably from up here. It's not part of the bridge. Let's head over this area. There's actually no items in this area, but I'll show it off regardless. Oh, come to greet us, have you, fella? Yeah, there's no items here, apart from the one that the site dropped. But I figured I'll show it off regardless. Oh, we've got some more guests. Okay. Don't know what that would have been used for. Unfortunate soul has toppled. We'll leave you to it, sir. There's been enough death tonight. There is an item over here, however. In fact, we're going to have to go this way to get in to the other side there. Let's handle this gargoyle first. Yeah, I'm glad Rosalind's not drunk today. She must have sobered up Yeah, I'm sure this would have been for the portcullis here. There's one on the other side as well. Jakar, forgive me, I am pushing you out of the way a little bit there. He's having a good old time there. Yes, there is an item in this room. A very important one, actually. This would be the Auric dagger. The one of the 4 daggers that we need. Yeah, again, I don't know how Joseph knows that these are what you need for that statue, but this is one of 4. Auric, I believe that means that it's made from gold. It looks exactly the same as the Blade of Tarun. The same model, anyway. Yeah, there is a rogue polygon up there. Fleece. We'll leave you to it. She's probably after that booze, really. I don't blame her. It's quite a trek. This looks a bit dangerous. How about we get some help here? Good to see you, fella. Good to have you back. Yeah, you've definitely been a bit stronger. Gotten a bit stronger since last we saw you. So have we, though. Yeah, there is an item over here. We'll fetch it. I'm sure this is an altar of some kind. I can't think of what else it would be. It's not a boat. But around the back of it, there is an item. The pole axe, which I'm sure we've seen before from that merchant. Yeah, none too shabby. It doesn't beat the saber harpeld, but it is a nice axe, regardless. If you don't have one already, there's a good axe to hold on to. Let's go up to the other side, shall we? Don't step in. I know that you're fire elemental, but please don't step into the fire. You know what? I'll just leave you guys to it. It's a bit of a tight squeeze anyway. Yeah, that poison effect's taken hold on that Qatar. Jakar, can you get that for us? I think we just need one more of those. The problem with poison in Summoner is that because the intervals of when it ticks damage is so slow that it doesn't really have much utility. Oh, you guys have found someone else to fight? I'll leave you to it. Do you want to take a look at this? What I'm assuming is a boat skeleton. I'm guessing it's made out of stone of some kind. I don't know why they'd make a skeleton of a boat out of stone, but it hasn't decayed, so it can't be wood. There's another one there as well. Let's have a look at what he dropped, shall we? Another gargoyle. Yeah, I really don't get the idea here. I'm assuming that all the wood has decayed over time, leaving this skeleton of a boat. Do boats actually have skeletons? Are they built this way? I I'm not entirely sure. Fleers, can you please? I know that Rosalind has that bottle on her, but you really don't need to nag her for it. Oh, you see what Rosalind does to the party? Oh. Also nice moss. Very nice. Now, there's no items over here, but we will show it off. Nice work. It's going to be a bit of a tight squeeze down here. Yeah, who asked Rosalind to bring a bottle with her? I guess she doesn't need asking. Another thief's twerk! And our sixth gargoyle blood. Let's have a look at that. Yeah, definitely. We don't want to pick up any more at this point, because we cannot, well, remove them from our inventory. So any additional ones beyond 6 are permanently in the inventory. So yeah, keep that in mind. I believe I mentioned that in the last episode. I'm glad them to minding their own business. Yeah, this looks like where they was holding the boats there. Oh, you two having a bit of a sorcerer's duel? I'll leave you to it. Let's help her out a bit, shall we? Rosalind's got a very good diversity of spells, though. Yeah, I really love that you can throw spells beyond the walls there. Well, let's get out there, shall we, guys? Sort this fella out. Oh. Okay. Fellas? Where are you at? What are they doing? Joseph, I know that you've been on the bottle yourself, but please. Yeah, this has been an adventure, wouldn't you say, folks? Anyway, continuing up on the other side here. Yeah, more of these gorgons. I'm going to call them gorgons from now on. I'm sure that's what they're supposed to be inspired by. Quite a few of them in this room. Be careful, they're paralysed. But hey, we can paralyse back, so... Yeah, it can get pretty dangerous down here. Ooh, that damage there. Yes, how about we attract the attention of everything in the room, folks? Very smart. Very smart. I believe one of those gorgons dropped a good item, though.
It's locked.
Please. Steel gauntlets, very nice. That's one of the great items that they drop. Where are they at? 17 protection. Very, very nice. Very, very nice. None too shabby. I will not complain about that. Very nice. I believe they drop a necklace as well, the gorgons. Anyway, what we came in here for is the item in the middle here. The Argent Dagger. Oh. They all look identical. Argent, I believe that's made from silver. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. Yeah, you can definitely tell that there's a theme for the daggers. Also, why is the liquid here red? I wouldn't want to know what. I'm assuming I'm going to be a bit positive about it and say that probably rust of some kind. Maybe something got rusty. Yeah, I want to head to the stairs here. This looks like a dangerous encounter. Let's see if we can help us out here. Nothing that a wall of fire cannot take care of. Just let the flames die off a bit. Locked. Yes, it always seems to be locked, doesn't it? Locked. And that one too. Locked. Flares, can you do your expertise, please? More dragon boots.
Success.
Ring of aggression and more dragon boots.
Success.
At least you have an extra spare pair there, Rosalind. There's another item in the corner there. Jakar, now's not the time to be playing around. Yeah, the Pathfinder. Fleers, that was very close of you. That was very, very close. Let's show off Rosalind's new spell, actually, while we're here. The Blizzard variant. Pretty effective, wouldn't you say? Yeah, you can't beat the Wall of Fire and Blizzard. Very, very good spells to have. Elixir of Recovery. That's a brand new potion we've not seen yet. A very nice bottle, by the way. Yeah, pretty strong regeneration potion. I'm assuming these are planters for the, well, plants. Let's get this guy out first before we head up. It's going to get a bit crowded, so I might actually de-summon, banish our summon there. Thank you for your help, sir. We do not need any more gargoyle blood. We've got enough. Yeah, we won't need any more of that. If you stand in the middle here, about this spot here, let's actually have Meteor go off here and see what happens. Yeah, quite a lot of display above us. We're actually hitting enemies. Oh, we have now aggroed said enemies. Yeah, there's a floor above us and we're actually hitting with the Meteor. Rosalind? Are you okay there, Rosalind? Again, I know you're on the bottle, but... Well, thank you very much for that heal. Yes, you can actually attack the enemies above you with some Meteor. Very useful. Let's see what's going on upstairs, shall we? Oh, he's a bit low. Just a little bit of an exploit. It's going to get crowded in here, though. Rosalind. She's just having a break, I'm sure. With a party like this, huh? Is she still down there? Are you going to do something? Well, here's some more boots for you, Rosalind. You got to love the summoner party, though. Yeah, this guy is standing on an item, and that's... Well, you can probably guess what that item is. I like how the fire is floating above there. So here's the third dagger, the Kubrick dagger. I believe Kubrick is made from copper. I won't need more of that. We can leave the rest of these folk here. Another one back there. We don't need to deal with those. I'm assuming this was some sort of meeting area. It definitely appears of sorts. Anyway, let's head back down. We're actually done here in the lower chambers, so let's head back up to the upper palace. We all together, folks? I'm not going to ask what you was doing there, Jakar. Yeah, I should have expected as much. Yeah, they really did want to infest the whole palace, didn't they? Anyway, this area here, this room, this is the armory. And you recall we picked up an armory key, so... Yeah, that's what the armory key is for. Who would have thought? Gonna hit a high camera here. Make it a bit easier on ourselves. Let's sort this fella out real quick. There, you got a forge here. Very nice. And an item. Well, that makes up for the one that I sold in the previous episode. Well, the episode before the previous. Always nice to have a garnet on hand. But yeah, we've got an armory. We've got a forge here. I doubt very much anyone will be making anything new anytime soon. Rusted armours. I do love the texture on there. That's a very nice texture. They look like breastplates. Or choruses. Chorus. However you pronounce that word. Yeah, there are two items sitting on top of each other here. The first item is the brazen dagger. The fourth and final dagger we need. Brazen is made from brass, I believe. And the sword of maiming. Let's have a look at that, shall we? A very fine sword, actually. Fleece. How about you give it a swing? Why not? That Empower spell will be pretty effective. Yeah, definitely rusted. I love the attention to detail. You do not actually have a hilt there. There's a tang, but there's no like wooden hilt. The wood would have decayed by this point, unless they didn't put the wood on. Now they're very colourful looking daggers. Colourful looking blades. Also rusted. Why there is a floating sword, however, is anyone's guess. Let us head out, shall we? Go back to low as well. Can you shut the door behind you? Hopefully we can leave that fella where he is. Yeah, Fleers. Now would be a good time to unlock this lock. We'll give you a bit of time.
Success.
Thank you very much. Going to fight our way through again. Rosalind. Yeah, Rosalind has problems. She most certainly has problems. Oh, more steel gauntlets though. Very nice. I'll take a pair of those. Yeah, very, very nice gauntlets actually. 17 protection's very high for hand protection. Can you at least close the door without being tipsy? Not sure what this would have been for. There is a remnant of a chain there that would have been connected to. But this is not exactly a portcullis. Yeah, I really couldn't tell what that's for. Even got a... This tree is still growing here. Must be a very hardy tree to be able to grow still. Unless it's also petrified. Maybe all life was petrified. Oh, fella, that was very rude of you. Maybe all life was petrified. Both flora and fauna alike. There's that empower being triggered by that sword. Come on, fellas. Let's get this done. Come on, fellas. Yeah, Minoris is still there. By the way, I was looking through the old game files just to see what there was. And I actually discovered that there's actually 2 additional rooms. There would have been 2 additional rooms here. Obviously not in the final game, but... yeah, just a little bit of insight there. Oh. Yeah, it's quite a slog, the palace here. Let's clear these up first, shall we? Yeah, quite a slog, indeed. Anyway, those 4 daggers that we got. Indeed opens up the door. Well, let us proceed, shall we? Let's make sure that Fleers is up to scratch. Let us proceed. Well, there's our buddy. This is Priest-king Armun. A summoner, of all things. And he has the power to paralyse. Well, we do as well, but he's immune to paralyse, unfortunately. And yes, you'll notice that our attacks are not really dealing any damage. The reason being, he is immune to everything but magic and blunt. Which means Fleers' kick here. will actually be effective. Flesh, you need to hold still when you kick him. I'm just saying. Oh. Yeah, he is pretty dangerous, but so are we. Especially Flesh with a wonderful kick attack. But if using blunt weapons is not your fancy, well, as I said, magic does work on him. Very nice. Very effective. I was hoping that Rosalind would fire a nice fire arrow at him. Well, there he goes. But yeah, he's immune to all physical but blunt attacks, but magic also works. Master Key, the Ring of Stone, which is what we're here for, and the Nadachi. And we can now summon the Golem. Very nice. We'll show that off later on. Let's have a look at that Nadachi first. A very fine sword with an Ice Coffin effect. Now, Ice Coffin is a bit of a mixed bag. It does act as some sort of paralyze effect to an enemy. At the same time, it doesn't kill them, so they're pretty much impervious to all damage when they're frozen in ice. Also, if you're wondering what the Master Key does, very stylish. Let's actually show it off right now. So I'm going to go back down to lower chambers. But yeah, that is Armun, Priest-king Armun. So back in these unused areas. If we go back upstairs to where those lockers were, well, we can actually use the Master Key to unlock the doors. And yes, they're just booths. Again, there's no items here. And I have no idea what Volition was planning for this room. But unfortunately, there's nothing you can do here. But that's what you can use the Master Key for, in case you're curious. Pretty much useless, but well, what can you do? What can you do? I just figured I'd show that off. Let's head back up to the upper level, shall we? Well, that all sorted. More enemies to face, of course. Yeah, again, I just have no idea what Volition was planning for that room. My best guess is maybe an Easter egg of some kind. Rosalind, what are you doing? Rosalind? I'm sure she's fine. Let's just clear up these enemies here. Oh. Rosalind. Well, Rosalind will just be Rosalind for tonight. Yeah, you can guess that she's been on that bottle again. Oh, I can't believe she secretly stashed one on the way here. Anyway, folks. That was Priest-king Armun. We now have the Ring of Stone, which is what we came here for. I'll show off the Golem in the next episode. But we're going to call it for today here. But yeah, again, I really wish Volition done something with that room. At least put an enemy there of some kind. Maybe a unique enemy. Or an item of some kind. Well, I guess we'll never know. But I figured I'd show it off. Because that Master Key doesn't really have any other function. It probably does open a door that Fliss picklocked in the armory. But other than that, it doesn't really do much else. But anyway, in the next we shall head back to Linnell, clear up the Gargoyle quest, and then head to Sanavar, Mountain of the Wise, to get the Ring of Fire. Well, until then, have a nice day, folks. Hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll catch you in the next.